Welcome back to Madrid Pulse, your home for everything in Real Madrid. Here, we bring you the latest updates, deep analysis, and inside stories about Los Blancos as the team continues to evolve both on and off the pitch. Today, we dive into a fascinating subject that shows the vision of Xabi Alonso for the future of the club and how Real Madrid is already preparing for the seasons ahead. The current Real Madrid squad is filled with talent and quality, yet football at the elite level requires constant renewal. That is exactly why Xabi Alonso has made a very clear request to the club's leadership as he begins to shape his long-term project at the Santiago Bernabeu. The Spanish coach has his eyes set on Hugo Larsson, the young Swedish midfielder who currently plays for Eintracht Frankfurt, and he is convinced that the player can become a key part of Madrid's midfield from 2026 onwards. Larsson, who is just 21 years old, has already made a name for himself in the Bundesliga. Since arriving at Eintracht Frankfurt in 2022, he has been a consistent performer, quickly adapting to the demands of German football. His blend of defensive ability, stamina, and technical skills has made him one of the most promising midfielders under the age of 23 in Europe. What makes him particularly attractive to Real Madrid is not just his youth, but his tactical maturity. Bundesliga analysts have described him as someone who plays like a veteran despite his age. And those words perfectly capture why he is considered such an exciting prospect. Larsson has already played over 60 matches for Frankfurt, showing remarkable consistency in his performances. He averages more than 85% pass completion, an impressive statistic for someone so young and operating in a highly competitive league. Beyond that, he is among the best young midfielders in terms of duels won, showing that he is not afraid to engage physically and fight for control in the middle of the park. This combination of intelligence, ball control, and physical strength makes him an ideal fit for the kind of football Alonso wants to implement at Real Madrid. It is no surprise that Alonso has spoken with Florentino Perez and Jose Angel Sanchez about the need to prepare the midfield for the future. Alonso has insisted that rejuvenation is key if Real Madrid is to remain dominant both in Spain and Europe. The arrival of Jude Bellingham, Eduardo Camavinga, Aurelian Tchouameni, and Federico Valverde has already created an impressive young core, but Alonso believes that adding Larsson in 2026 would complete the balance he envisions. Interestingly, Alonso's knowledge of Larsson comes not just from scouting reports, but also from his own experience in Germany, where he closely followed the Bundesliga and faced similar midfield profiles. That background gives Alonso confidence that Larsson can adapt seamlessly to the demands of Spanish football and the unique challenges of playing at the Santiago Bernabeu. For now, Real Madrid is not rushing to complete the signing. The plan is to monitor Larsson's progress at Eintracht Frankfurt, ensuring that he continues to develop and refine his game before making the big leap. His current market value is estimated at around 40 million euros, a fee that could rise if he continues to perform at such a high level in Germany. However, the presence of Juni Calafat, the man responsible for discovering and securing talents like Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and more recently Endrick, means that Madrid are confident they can move at the right time and secure the player ahead of other European giants. What makes this story even more exciting for fans is how it reflects the long-term planning at Real Madrid. The club is not just focusing on the current season or short-term success. Instead, they are carefully building a squad that will dominate for the next decade. Just as Bellingham was brought in to be a generational leader in midfield, Larsson could become another pillar in a new era shaped by Alonso. The Swedish midfielder fits the exact profile of what Madrid is looking for: young, talented, tactically intelligent, and hungry to grow. If the deal eventually goes through, Real Madrid fans could witness Hugo Larsson becoming the new orchestrator of Alonso's midfield, providing the balance, energy, and intelligence that every successful side needs. The prospect of seeing him link up with the likes of Bellingham, Camavinga, and Valverde is one that sparks excitement, as it promises a midfield built for both power and creativity. Real Madrid are preparing for a crucial few weeks ahead of the transfer window closing, and there's growing belief that at least one first-team player will be sold before the deadline. Due to La Liga squad registration limits and financial planning, the club cannot make any more signings unless there's a departure. As things stand, one name has clearly emerged as the top candidate to leave. Rodrigo goes. The Brazilian forward's status in the squad has shifted noticeably. After being one of the key figures under Carlo Ancelotti, Rodrigo now seems to be on the periphery under new manager Xabi Alonso. During Real Madrid's run to the Club World Cup semi-finals earlier this summer, Rodrigo was barely involved. That omission has only intensified speculation that he is no longer central to Alonso's tactical plans. With the arrival of young sensation Franco Mastantuono, who is expected to go straight into the starting lineup later this month, Rodrigo's chances of regular minutes look slimmer than ever. Rodrigo's uncertain future hasn't gone unnoticed. Over the past few weeks, interest from Premier League clubs has continued to rise. Arsenal and Liverpool have both been monitoring his situation closely. But now, the most serious push seems to be coming from Tottenham Hotspur, who are emerging as the leading contenders to secure the Brazilian signature. In a major twist that could shape Rodrigo's next move, Spurs star Son Heung-min has announced his departure from the club. This development opens a vacancy on the left wing and frees up significant funds, making a deal for Rodrigo more financially feasible. According to Spanish outlet Diario AS, the North London club now has the financial room and positional need to get the transfer over the line. However, despite Real Madrid being open to negotiations, there's a critical factor complicating matters. Rodrigo himself isn't entirely sold on the idea of joining Tottenham. While Spurs can offer regular playing time and a Premier League platform, sources close to the player indicate that his preferred move would be to Liverpool. Rodrigo reportedly dreams of wearing the red shirt at Anfield. Unfortunately for the Brazilian, Liverpool's current focus is elsewhere. The Merseyside club are prioritizing a deal for Alexander Isak, the Newcastle United striker, who has been on their radar for months. If Liverpool manage to finalize that transfer, their pursuit of Rodrygo will likely be shelved indefinitely. In that case, the Brazilian forward's hopes of joining the club he favors could be dashed, leaving him with limited options. As the summer window ticks down, all eyes are on whether Rodrigo will accept a move to Tottenham, wait for Liverpool, or consider staying at the Bernabeu despite his uncertain role. Madrid Pulse will continue tracking this story closely, so make sure you're subscribed for updates on Rodrigo's future and all Real Madrid transfer developments.